Alright, let's get into it. We all know what's happening in this chapter. Denji and Asa got dragged into hell, and we're left off with the best cliffhanger we've had in a long time. I'm going to be going over as much as I possibly can in this review and just explaining everything that's going on in this chapter, because even though it was pretty short, there are a lot of underlining things that really did happen in this chapter. So the chapter picks up where we left off last time with Denji and Asa floating in the air. And because of Denji's El Riz from last chapter, basically this man admitting that his main goal in life is to have sex, it creeps Asa out so much that she would rather die than be saved by Denji and tells him to go to hell. And Denji's response is just so Denji, man. Like, Denji, you're just like such a goofball. And to quote Denji exactly, he says, "It's not gross. Sex is like super beautiful. If it didn't feel so damn good, humanity would have never grown to the size that it's now without the power of sex." And low-key, Denji is spinning some facts, but I don't think this is really the best time to say it to someone, especially Asa, who is really down in the dumps right now. And Asa's response to this just makes her sound like such a femcel, man. It's honestly hilarious. She says that people only have sex because they have nothing better to do, and the idea of someone else's saliva and sweat being in her mouth, at least in this moment, disgusts her. Now, as much as I want to say, well boys, this proves the femcel allegations against Asa. She's just a total femcel. We saw chapters ago at the beginning of the Falling Double arc after Asa got stood up by Denji. Even though she was going to warn Denji to stay away, she pretty much admits in this giant text box full of absolute copium, she indirectly admitted that she desired to be intimate with someone, specifically Denji, but just anyone that she could grow close to. But with Asa's issues of trust, her trauma, and probably her general embarrassment of just being inexperienced along with her current mental state, that's probably what is driving her to kind of act out and say the things that she's saying right now. And Denji is of course taken aback because that's his own life goal that Asa is coming at. I mean, that's the reason why he's even alive right now. And then Asa proceeds to come at Denji's entire existence, his entire reason why he wants to be chainsawman, why he wants to live. And it's like, wait a second, what will make you think that you would ever get any of this? And this is where things just take a turn for the worse. Denji says that even if he can't get a girlfriend right now, he'll be able to get one in the future, and eventually he'll get all the benefits that come from it. Which, I gotta give props to Denji, is pretty mature. And Asa pretty much says that no woman in existence would ever want to have sex with a guy with a chainsaw sticking out of his head. Which, I mean, yeah, is pretty reasonable, although the group of fangirls that Chainsaw Man has would beg a differ. But I guess that doesn't matter because, and I kid you not, this is enough to cause Denji to have a mental breakdown and drag himself and Asa into hell. And I must say, when I saw this initially at work, when I first read this, I laughed so hard. I mean, what made this even funnier is the fact that we couldn't even see Denji's reaction to it. We just see Denji's mouth wide open. But I would imagine it would be similar to when he was shown Aki in power before they both died. And the reason why I almost feel like he reacted to this in such a negative way is for a couple of reasons. And it isn't because of Denji not being able to have sex. It goes way deeper than that. This was said by a girl that Denji obviously likes, whether he realizes it or not. And to hear Asa say that, especially someone that reminded him a lot of Power, I would even argue and say Makima to some extent, depending on if Denji remembers Makima in a good light, and being more or less directly rejecting him, especially with someone with his past, I would imagine it would hit him really hard. Especially when the main reason he is being Chainsaw Man is for people to love him and possibly having a harem, but that isn't really what he wants. He doesn't want everyone to love him. He wants a special connection with someone who will be able to understand him and accept him for himself. In any case, Denji and Asa fly to the door and we find Denji and Asa in hell on top of a platter of food in pitch darkness. And I'm not going to lie, when I initially saw this, I was a bit confused because this iteration of Hell is a lot different from the one that we saw in the International Assassins arc. And I honestly thought the world was pitch black because the Darkness Devil was coming to get his get back in blood. And instead, it looks like Denji and Asa were just transported into the Falling Devil's own domain in Hell. Because we know, even though it was never directly said, it was heavily implied that there are different parts of Hell where the devils reside, and different devils such as the Darkness Devil may have their own domain, or just their own door that acts as their home. Denji looks around for a bit and sees a way out, and Denji makes a break for it, but as he's doing it, he gets attacked by the Caterpillar Devil that we saw a few chapters ago, who was eating a bunch of humans. And just when we think all is lost, Denji grabs his head and just puts it back on like he's a Lego character and heals instantly, and he doesn't even react to it. And this definitely shows just how much of a regular thing this has honestly become for him. And as Denji is about to go through the door, it opens up and we see the Falling Devil, who says that her main dish didn't call for chainsawman, and if Denji leaves Asa Mitaka, she'll send them back, no problem. And Denji looks up at her, back in Asa, and just says, "Can I at least bring her fat ass back with me?" And even an evil devil like the Falling Devil has enough humanity in her to recognize Denji's being a horn dog, which is both a strange feeling but is also incredibly funny at the same time. And while she's basing judgment on Denji acting high and mighty, I mean, let's face it guys, she murdered and caused irreversible damage to numerous people, but I guess being a pervert is where the Falling Devil just seems to draw the line. And then we see the Falling Devil gets stabbed in the back by a chainsaw, and Asa is beginning to wake up, and Denji's brain is scrambled by what's going on, and we get to reveal that the Falling Devil has no tolerance for the diners who leave their food unfinished. They'll desperately try to devour Asa Mitaka lest they be killed by the Falling Devil. So, seemingly there is a bit of a hierarchy within Hell, and we know that this was implied earlier in the story when Yoru said that even in Hell, we have bullying there. And it looks like we're not only getting confirmation of this, but we're also seeing what this bullying also looks like. And I gotta say, it isn't looking pretty good. The final panel, we get the reveal of Femcel who tells Denji, please evade the devils until sunrise, end of chapter. Wow, I will not lie, up until 2 chapters ago, I thought there wasn't a Femcel. In fact, I didn't even think that there was going to be one after chapter 126, but yeah, it looks like the theories the community speculate on are actually true. Potentially, some of them might actually be true. And there's a lot to break down in this final panel. Femcel, who I'll be referring to as chainsawman because he just came in like a Chad, seemingly knew a lot about the Falling Devil, but also how Hell works, because it's revealed apparently that there is a day and a night system in Hell, I guess similar to Minecraft where all the monsters just come out at night. And he knew a lot about the Falling Devil, and it's pretty obvious the other person who sent chainsawman to help Denji is the Famine Devil. And the biggest piece of evidence that points towards this is actually the mosaic on the door in this chapter. Because if we compare the pattern to volume 14 of the manga, we notice the mosaic the Famine Devil is standing in front of is the exact same as the one on the door featured in this chapter. And during the Famine Devil's and Yoshida's dinner date, she revealed that she knew when and where the Falling Devil would arrive. So, I mean, it isn't really much of a stretch to say that she knows how the Falling Devil acts. And I think the big question now is, why would Denji have to wait until sunrise? And this is my own personal theory, it's likely that the Falling Devil was contracted with a human or a devil with a human serving as a proxy, because the way that devil contracts work in the world of Chainsaw Man is when a devil makes a contract with a human, if either the human or the devil breaks the contract, it's said that they will die instantly as a result of not fulfilling the contract. And I almost feel like however the contract works, it likely explains why the Fallen Devil's healing factor is as strong as it is, because It could potentially be a similar contract to Makima where physical attacks had no effect on her, but just like with Makima's contract, there are definitely loopholes in it that would allow the Falling Devil to be defeated. After all, the Falling Devil already stated that although none of humanity's current weaponry would be able to cause her to take any damage, it's entirely possible that a weapon that would be formed by Asa may actually be a key in defeating her. And as for who chainsawman is, it is honestly up in the air. I will be making a theory video going over it, but if you were to ask me right now, I would have to say it would have to be someone in the Devil Hunter Club. I mean, for them to have this much insider information about Hell and the Falling Devil, things that are just not generally let out to the public, it makes me think that it had to be someone within the Devil Hunter Club or someone that the Famine Devil has interacted with and is possibly chosen to be her version of Chainsawman. But let me know down in the comments, who do you think chainsawman is? And if you liked the video and you want to watch some more Chainsawman content, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one.